Welcome back to your R3 Life Group. We are in week 3 of our series, Economic Atheist. This week, Pastor Phil Tagg spoke on how you budget. When we honor God with our budget, we carry a that's enough mentality. And if we were honest, if we were just a little more transparent, we would confess that we all struggle with this at some point. We all struggle with this kind of mindset. And God cares about budgets, and He deeply cares about you. Pastor Phil shared 2 lessons on budgeting. First, live inside your budget. Second, budget beyond yourself. In Leviticus chapter 19, verses 9 and 10, it says this: "When you harvest your crops of the land, do not harvest the grain along the edges of your fields, and do not pick up what the harvesters drop. It is the same with your grape crop. Do not strip every last bunch of grapes from the vines, and do not pick up the grapes that fall on the ground. Leave them for the poor and the foreigners living among you. I am the Lord your God." Living inside your budget. Despite the portion of your land, or in this case your income, everyone has to live inside of a budget. Your budget is not the same as someone else's. This passage in Leviticus speaks into a countercultural truth. Don't spend everything you make. The average American spends 110% of what they make. And if you're paying attention, that's 10 more than 100. That means more than what they make. We overspend because we confuse our needs versus our wants. We are consistently looking for our wants, which is focused on gaining more and more stuff. And we are capable of spending our entire lives looking for the more. So Pastor Phil asked us, how are you doing living in your budget? Are you satisfied? Is it enough? The key of living inside of your budget isn't having more or less, but being content with what you have now. Budgeting beyond yourself. When you harvest the crops of your land, do not harvest the grain along the edges of your fields, and do not pick up what the harvesters drop. When we honor God with our budget, we can tend to the needs of those around us. If we keep spending to the edges of the field, so to speak, we have nothing left to give. Budgeting beyond yourself points to what it's all about, what Jesus is all about, which is taking care of a need. You can tithe, be generous, save, and still move forward if we will quit spending to the edges. Our challenge this Sunday was to make margin for others. So, are you living on the edge, spending everything you have? Or are you living inside of your budget and leaving room for others? Welcome to Reflect. In Luke 14, Jesus shared the parable of the ambitious guest. Jesus is eating dinner at a prominent Pharisee's home, and he noticed that when some of the guests came in, they picked their own spots. These seats around the table were considered places of honor. And so he delivered this powerful and impactful statement. He says, "For everyone who exalts himself will be humbled, and whoever humbles himself will be exalted." And that's where we'll pick up. Pastor Phil taught us to budget beyond ourselves. And when we budget beyond ourselves, we don't expect a return. I'll say it again. When we budget beyond ourselves, we don't expect a return. Luke 14 gives us fair warning that the poor, the sick, the lame, the crippled, they can't pay us back. It also reveals a struggle that we all have. We want love to be reciprocated. On November the 9th, the Ransom Church gave out 1,104 turkeys to our community. Some of you watching this helped, and if you did, thank you so much, whether you contributed financially or working on site. And stories are pouring in right now of families who are just so thankful for what happened. So a big thank you. You see, we gave without expecting a return. We wanted to give to our community, no strings attached. This is exactly how it should be in our own lives. I'm sure many Ransom volunteers went out and got big smiles from their community. And you know what? Maybe some didn't. Either way, it doesn't matter. We don't expect a return because we have Christ. He is the greatest return of your life. Bring this truth into your personal budget, and it transforms how and why you budget beyond yourself. Now, I'm not sure if God is calling you to actually set up a banquet and have people over, but I do believe He is calling you to live your life ready to care for anyone who is worn and weary on this path of life. Welcome to React. We have one challenge for you this week. Who do you need to invite to the table? Thanksgiving is right around the corner. Is there a family or someone that you know who is in need that would be blessed by an invitation to your home? And maybe no one comes to mind, but pray that God would reveal a need to you so you can fill it. A couple of years ago, I had the honor of doing a funeral for a family whose grandmother passed away. Her daughter told me that every Sunday they always had a stranger at their table for supper. I know times have changed, but what is a random act of kindness that you can bestow on someone this Thanksgiving? This R3 video officially marks the end of life groups this semester. We will relaunch in January of next year. Thank you for jumping into R3 this fall, and I'll see you again next year. God bless you guys. And that's where we'll pick up. So, welcome to your R3 Life Group. This Sunday, we talked about how you budget, and it's pretty stinking awesome. You gotta pay attention. All right, guys, this is how you do long distance relationships. Can you say hi, Hannah?
Hi, everyone.
Silly. And leave.